Hi guys, Sarah here from BudgetSavvyDiva. So a lot has happened and I'm going to be filming a whole slew of videos today in the same outfit because I have sunlight and I don't feel like complete crap. So I was like, okay, I have like 5 videos. Hopefully I can get them all done, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put makeup on today. Usually, you know, a little bit of makeup, but like I went full on out. But I didn't know, I wasn't thinking that I took a shower last night and put my hair in braids, and now it's like this frizzy mess, and if I brush it out, it becomes like this big. So you're gonna have to deal with videos with really bad hair. Okay, so if you didn't know, I'm pregnant with twins, which is amazing, awesome. I'm 14 weeks and 4 days right now, so one of the videos I really want to film is my 14-week update, which I'm going to want to switch over from, you know, like writing about the updates to actually doing the video. But that's not this video. This video is, okay, the long story of finding out I'm pregnant. And it was one of these things where somebody was like confused on like one of my videos, and I was like, they don't know like the whole story. And of course the drama that happened, it was pretty much the 3 most drama filled days of my life, which, you know, usually when you find out you're pregnant, you take a pregnancy test, it's positive, yay, and then you go on. That didn't happen with me. I mean, I got a positive pregnancy test, but with everything with me, it had to have drama to it because I can't just find out I'm pregnant and everything be hunky-dory. You know, with the whole pregnancy on Facebook and on the site, it's been like I've been showing the really happy parts, and I will talk about kind of like the, not drama, but like, I don't think there's ever a perfect pregnancy, especially with twin pregnancies. There's a lot of complications that can come up, and some have, but we're good, and let's get started. So how I found out I'm pregnant. I will have another video about this, a lot of videos about IVF, but we did get pregnant through IVF, and I'll go why we went through IVF in another video. But basically, we went through IVF, and I had the transfer on Thursday, and I told myself, you don't test. So what they do is they put in the embryos. We chose 2, and I'll have another video about why we did 2. And you're supposed to wait, I think they wanted to do it Monday, so Thursday, like it was going to be 12 days after the transfer, that they were going to do a blood test to look at HCG levels, and HCG would indicate if I'm pregnant or not. And then they also look later on the HCG levels if it's increasing at the right rate to make sure that it's going to probably be a viable pregnancy. So I told myself, I told everybody at the place that I'm not going to test. And I was really good about it for about 5 days. And I really wanted to test, and it's going to be a whole other video if you guys want it, of how I took my first pregnancy test. Because how I took my first pregnancy test, I told Eric, he rolled his eyes. I told my parents, and they rolled their eyes on the crazy method I used. That's all I'm gonna say. I will make a video about it. It is pretty hysterical, but in the end, I got a faint positive pregnancy test. I know, it is very, not telling you guys a lot of information, but seriously, like, I don't know what I was thinking doing it, but I got a positive pregnancy test. And it wasn't the fact that I was taking a pregnancy test so early, it was the method that I used. That's all I will say, and I will make the video, but you guys are gonna laugh and probably judge, and that's okay, because it's me. It's a very Sarah thing I did, but whatever. So I got a positive pregnancy test, faint positive. I told Eric, and then I told him how I took the pregnancy test, and he's like, I don't know if it's accurate or not. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I was like, I know. So I didn't tell my parents anything, and that was Thursday, and I wasn't supposed to get the blood test until Monday. Okay, come Friday, you've already seen the video, I'll link it below if you haven't, of the digital pregnancy test I took. And I had pretty much, and that's another video, I pretty much knew something must have worked, and it was positive for pregnancy. And I was like, awesome. So I'm one of these people, I don't like to count my eggs before they hatch. So I might have been a little subdued in the video because it's like, yay, I'm pregnant, but I didn't want to believe it until I got the blood test. And not so much just the blood test, I wanted to get that second blood test because they need to see the rise. Like, there's no good of getting the first blood test if it's just gonna go lower and then it all falls apart. So I think I was subdued because I had already gotten a positive pregnancy test, but I really wanted to have that beta, they're called betas, the first blood beta and then the second blood beta, and that's when I got like super excited because there was the correct rise. So basically, I'm happy, Friday comes around, and this is when the drama starts. I wake up in the morning and I go to the bathroom and there's blood. And I'm like, crap. I didn't, you know, like I didn't cry. But I remember telling Eric, I mean, this is a few months ago, but I told Eric, like, you can't go to work, like, I need you, and he was totally fine with that. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to work, and I mean, he felt horrible, and it wasn't like full on like a period, but it was like spotting, and I was just like, I don't understand. You know, he knew about the digital positive pregnancy test, and we saw that, you know, actually, wait, take that back. He didn't know about the positive digital pregnancy test then. That was later. That was later on Friday. No, he had just seen the faint positive, and I mean, he's, out of the two of us, he's the one who's always like super, super positive, and I'm always the one like, the ship is sinking. That's just my personality. So I just remember just actually sitting right here on the couch and just being like, I don't understand. And let me tell you why. And you guys don't know this, but you know, we used frozen embryos, and we do have 4 more left. And we went through genetic testing. So this is a whole other videos talking about all about that. And these were our 2 best embryos. We weren't really worried about, you know, the genders of the embryos. We got them genetically tested, and these were our best ones. Are they they're not the best grade embryos, but the best we have. Now they're fetuses, whatever. So it was like the best we had, and I was like, if it didn't work with those, we have 4 more left. Like, I know we can do more cycles, but like, those were our best. And if that didn't work, how is it gonna work ever? So I think I kept on just saying that. I mean, just kept on saying that. My mom came over, as I told her right away, she came over, and they were both sitting on the couch here, and just like listening to me say pretty much the same thing over and over again. I don't understand. I don't understand how it couldn't have worked. I don't understand how I had symptoms not related to the medication I was taking or hormones. There were very distinct symptoms I was having, you know, and that it would have worked, but then fallen apart. And I don't know who had the idea, but I think I did, and I said, well, maybe I should get a blood test done. Maybe I should go to my doctor. I had a great fertility doctor, and you know, they pretty much bend over backwards for me. I mean, at the end they said I was a really good patient, so yay. But like, if I ever had an issue, they were always like, come on in, let's check it out. So I called and said, okay, I have a positive pregnancy test. I know I'm not supposed to be in for another 4 days. And I got a positive pregnancy test, but I'm spotting. And so then they said, come on in, let's do the blood test. And you know, I told the doctor the situation, and they were like, okay. I mean, they were really positive. They were like, well, that can happen, you know, it's not the craziest thing. Pretty much take the blood test, and I just remember we went to Witch Witch. I don't know if you guys know what Witch Witch is, but we have a Witch Witch near where the doctor is. It's really out of the way, so when we're able to, we go there. And I just remember just getting the sandwich I've always wanted to get. It was just some sandwich with a lettuce wrap, so it's like gluten-free. And I just remember just ordering it and sitting there and just thinking, crap. I had nothing in my head other than, you know, F. You know, just not being mad, just being like, are you kidding me? Like, this really sucks. especially with, if you didn't know, like the work up to this cycle started really in July and the transfer was in November. So just imagine all that time to get ready. Those are our 2 best embryos, and for it not to work. And heartbroken. I would say I was heartbroken. I felt defeated. We get home, and what ended up happening was my dad came over, and my mom and him went to the store to buy like groceries for me. You know, just they're awesome, you know, to help out. And my doctor said that she'd be getting back to me, like I'm tearing up. You know, like by 3:30, or like it would take like 4 hours, and all my blood tests have taken that long. And so what ended up happening was, that was like the worst sandwich I ever ate, by the way. I did the worst things with it. I asked for like extra lettuce and a lettuce wrap. I don't know what I was thinking. I was basically just eating iceberg lettuce with tomato in it. I don't know what I was thinking. But like it was just whatever. And what basically ended up happening was, I wasn't even thinking that we would, I thought it's gonna be negative and it's fine. And my spotting had kind of been stopping, but you know, when you start your period, well for me at least, you know, it seemed like I was gonna be starting my period. And so then we get a call from my doctor, and I just remember I had Eric answer it. I was like, shh, because the thing I did not want to hear was the nurse or the doctor saying, "I'm so sorry," but like those words just like would haunt me. So I had him answer, and like I just remember being like so nervous, and it was like all around here. And okay, so I'm trying not to cry. I have Kleenexes because I kind of ran down how I was going to tell this story and I like cried, and I'm an ugly crier, so let's do that. And I'm like pregnant, so let's really not do that because I like cry over anything. So basically what ended up happening was he said something like, "Oh, it's positive." I didn't hear what she was saying, but I was like, "What?" And I ripped the phone. I was like, I can take it. And she was like, "Yeah, it's positive." And I was just like, "What? Like what? Like honestly, I thought like for sure it had not been." And she was like, yeah, like why you had a positive pregnancy test. And she was like, that it's probably implantation bleeding. You know, it's within this time frame that, yeah, that's like most likely what it is. And I was just like, oh, that makes sense. And I felt kind of stupid. And I had been so glad. So then I asked her, like, what were the numbers, you know, like the HCG. And she's like, well, okay, so that's the thing. And I was like, oh, great. It's a very strong number. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking she's going to tell me because it was a 5-day transfer and it should have been just implanted. They both should have been implanted, or at least one, but now we know it's 2. Like only a couple of days maybe. And she was like, yeah, so it should be, I was thinking like probably about 50. And she's like, we would have liked a range of like 25 to 75, somewhere in there. And she's like, you have like 204. And I was just like, oh, okay. And that's the first instant I thought, it's twins. My friend has twins and hers was like 240. And I was just like, oh, okay. It's twins, that's what we're going for here. But what ended up happening was my parents were out. So I thought I had these like little shoes in the box, which is another video telling my parents I'm pregnant, which is listed below. And I was like, oh, you know, we get off the phone, my husband and I were so excited. We were like beyond giddy, like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be parents. And I could tell my parents. And it was really cool. It was a really like awesome way to end. the day, I mean, like when we found out and when I told my parents, I think it was probably around 3. So pretty much from 6 a.m. to 3, like that was the whole day. And so we found out, I think, like 3 weeks and 6 days, because my turnover day is Saturday. So it'd be 3 weeks and 6 days that I found out I'm officially pregnant with a high CG. And yeah, so that is the drama of finding out I'm pregnant. Sorry. And that's one thing about being pregnant. You have a lot more like runny noses too. So crying and runny nose, not good. Anyway, I have more videos to do, so I can't ruin my makeup that much. Long story short, that is the saga of finding out that I'm pregnant, and just the start of everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. But yeah, I just want to, like, I love being open with you guys, and I just wanted to just tell you all about it, because it's hard not knowing like what you guys know and what I know. Long story. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm off to make another video. Bye!